Yes, girl.
Yes.
No, for real. Ooh, we gonna talk about
Girl,
it.
we are going to talk about it.
Hello,
Good
everybody.
evening. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. It is I, Janan, aka You Don't Know Nan with the SheNANigans.
And I am T, Micho, because I have the T.
The tea. How are we today?
Good, honey. I am glad it is hump day. I'm ready for the week to be over. How about
Girl,
you?
I'm ready for Hey Des. We are ready for the week to be over. It's been a year per usual, right?
Yes.
Per usual, because it's like, what the fuck? It's been a year and it's only Wednesday.
I think this daylight savings has me real chopped this year because usually I'm used to it but this darkness is really
This shit different. It's midnight at 5:00.
right.
Like I don't like it. It's like melatonin and meth all in one, and it's just concoct that shit
and sprinkle that shit in the air.
But everybody was good. Thank you for returning for another Wednesday with our SheNANigans with a little bit of tea. Every Wednesday at 7:30. Before we do anything today, we need you to like and subscribe. Once again, we need you to like the like button, and subscribe. Like, what's tea? For real.
Right?
So
share.
Today
Share
is a really important episode, y'all. And if you hear kids in the background, thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
I look like a Puerto Rican, but
yes, you do. Come on, come on now, girl.
But
so
today is really important. Now we talk shit. Hello, dog. We talk shit. We have fun. We talk about tea. We talk about raw shit. You get a bit of our personalities, but today's episode is really important to me and also to T as well. Yeah. So, Trans Day of Remembrance is coming up. And that is November 20th. And it's dear to my heart for a myriad of reasons. But we wanted to really talk about harsh topics and also really educate the masses. So today, before we do anything, we ask you to keep an open mind, open heart, and be open to being educated. And we literally welcome any and everybody of any creed, any gender, any orientation, and we are here to educate and uplift everyone. So with that being said, let's get
a little disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure we are very respectful and mindful of our comments and what we ask.
Mm-hmm.
We have questions. We would like to hear them. However, ensure that they are presented in a respectful manner.
Exactly. So any comments that are disrespectful, we will disregard them. Period. We are keeping an open mind, once again, and an open heart, and we are being kind because we promote kindness even if we talk our shit. Okay?
Period. Okay. Thank you.
Without further ado, while my kids are coming in here being crazy, my daughter is being so nasty. I wish I could show you her face. I'm filming. Please get out. Thank you. I hate kids, y'all. So today, let's introduce our first topic, T, shall we?
Yes, ma'am. So our topic of the evening is going to be about transitions. And just because I am a prepared female, I have the definitions right here in this book.
Thank you. Let's get into it. Definition number 1.
So transition is the process or a period of changing from one state or condition to another.
Mm-hmm.
A further definition would include the process by which a transgender person permanently adapts to the outward or physical characteristics that match their gender identity, opposed to those assigned with the sex registered to them at birth. In addition to that, this process may or may not include measurements such as hormones, therapy, and gender reassignment surgery.
Thank you.
Yes.
Tea with the tea. And I also will say, I identify people that transition as people with trans experiences.
Yes, ma'am.
And for me, like I literally, and we'll get into it later, I just feel like it's disingenuous to be like, oh, they're transgender or they're transsexual, because some people can use that as negative connotations.
Sure.
Right? So I always say people with trans experiences to honor their experience as the person that they are. So that being said, our first clip, Marlon Wayans. He did something really profound this weekend. We want you to chime in and let's watch together, y'all.
Skittles or Rainbow Child is about my daughter. I have a daughter that transitioned into a son. My daughter Amai is now Kai.
Truthful.
And so
Okay.
And so I talk about the transition, not her their transition, but my transition as a parent, going from ignorance and denial to complete unconditional love and acceptance.
Gotcha.
And I think there's a lot of parents out there that need to have that message. And I know I'm dealing with it. It was a very painful situation for me. But man, it's one of the best, funniest hours I probably could ever imagine.
That warmed my heart.
Yeah.
In so many reasons, in so many ways. I think it's so challenging in the Black and brown community for men to be vulnerable, especially when it comes to their sexuality, their preferences. Everything is so taboo.
Right.
So shout out and kudos to him for being brave enough and vulnerable enough to, share his experience. And again, his transition as well, as a parent that has to get used to his own child's now transitioning experience.
It's an experience in itself. And like, as a mom, that's something that I think about often. Like, what if my children feel X, Y, and Z? And not just about this, but like you're growing with them, And I'm not a person that, like, I'll say it now, we'll be throwing some words out there. I'm a non-binary person. And a lot of people don't understand what that means. It means different things for everybody, but I don't necessarily identify as a woman all the time, even though I know I am a woman. It's always sexuality and gender and identity has always been fickle for me, but I can't even fathom what that would be like to be in that skin, to have people not understand you. It's so many Black and brown people that are so against having certain conversations or being open-minded to familiar with, right? So let's bring on two very special and important guests. Today we have Armani Dae and we also have
Wan. Please welcome.
Hey.
Hello. Thank you for joining us.
How y'all doing today? Y'all looking good.
I'm trying to keep myself up.
Hello. I'm feeling good. Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you for coming. So we would like to introduce you two first and foremost. Audience, say hello to Armani Dae. Take it away, Armani.
Take it away. You know what? It's never easy talking about myself, so I'll try to keep it short and simple. My name is Armani Dae. My pronouns are he and king. I am a Black trans man of Jamaican descent. I'm an artivist deemed by the people, which means I do activism through art. So I might not always do a panel or public speaking, but you'll for sure see me post an image or a painting or something to bring awareness and visibility to transgender, non-conforming, non-binary, two-spirit, and alike people, as well as my first published book. So I use my art to educate people and bring awareness to us. And I act and do a bunch of other things as well.
And do. And do. Thank you for coming, Armani and Wan.
Hello. My name is Wan. Everybody knows me as Wan. I'm a published author. My book right now, How the 5 Pillars of Resilience Saved My Life, is on Amazon Books. You can find that up there. I consider myself a trans mental health activist, coming through my own mental health and dealing with the journey of transitioning. Those two bubbles can be very, very hard to deal with when you're already, dealing with life. So, I like to spread my message of resilience, who I got from my beloved Tarika Bright. Just, how you can apply that to everyday life, not just trans people, but all people.
That's amazing. This is making me happy. I mean,
right?
Like, I've known Armani literally since
15.
Yeah. And just to see the man that you've grown into is just like, it's different. It hits different when you witness it, And Juan, I was literally looking at your page and I'm just like, damn. Like, seeing the transparency that you share with your journey. Also, it's, as Black and brown people, it's hard to talk about anything that we may go through without crying.
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
Black
folk, we don't come home and tell our parents we're depressed. They say go depress them dishes or something like that. So I want people to know that, you know what I'm saying? You have to be transparent that way. You have to let people see your rock bottom. You know what I mean? The testimony, so that they know that when you come out on the other side, it's just lit. Like my hashtag, I have a hashtag, healing is lit. You know what I'm saying? When you come on the other side of it, it's just like, you can't be stopped. It's nothing that you can't be stopped. And when you're comfortable in your skin, because it took me a while to be comfortable with the man that sits before you today. Right. So when I'm comfortable in my skin the way I am right now, it can't be stopped. It can't be stopped.
Wow. Thank you for that. So I want to piggyback off of that. Being comfortable in your skin. When it comes to this comment, not even this comment, just this clip that we just played when Marlon Wayans was discussing, the transition of his son. I felt a million things as a parent, as an educator, as a person. It was a beautiful thing to witness a Black man that comes from this Black ass family. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? I accept my child out of the way. You know what I'm saying? And it was such a teachable moment for me as a parent. But how did that feel for you as a person with a trans experience to see that? I want to start with you, Armani, because you are of Jamaican descent. And for people that do not know much about Caribbean culture, or even people within the African diaspora that feel as though certain things are taboo, the struggle, the different things that people, not only of trans experiences, that just may identify as something different than the status quo, what we have to go through. How do you feel about that comment?
Whew. That's loaded, actually. So because I am of Jamaican descent, right? My mom is a strong Black woman. My dad who is from Jamaica. It's like double. It's double. It's like double stigma. It could be double hatred. Though I didn't experience that, but it could be, because you just have your average everyday Black family, right? And then you have your peoples in Jamaica who come from Jamaica to America, and they bring a lot of that mindset and the things that they learned there. Where in Jamaica, it's pretty much okay. It's like it's okay for them to harm anybody within the LGBTQ community. Like, period. It's like it's okay. Who's going to stop you?
Wow.
So as far as that being, my story, listening to Marlon, like, it was just like, yo, like, it touched my heart. I already follow him on Instagram. I've always been a fan of his. I felt like he is someone who, he's funny, but people also kind of sleep on him. Like, I'm like, Nelson,
I agree.
He's a Leo. Shout out to all Leos.
I
feel like I knew, like, that there was something else that's like hiding or that people don't see. It's like people, they sleeping on them, and this is maybe for me, this was the thing that woke me up, like, aha, that's probably what it is. Like, so you're going through this transition yourself as a father, as a black man, as a father, a black father of a trans person. You know, so you're going through these transitions yourself, and then you're in the public eye. You know, so watching that clip, I was like, yo, I felt that in my heart. I'm also a father. I have a 14-year-old kid. So watching that and knowing that, one, I'm a trans parent, you know, who my son knows that I am trans. I've taken him to the trans wellness conference and all those things. I teach him things, so he knows about pronouns and stuff. He may forget, he's a kid, but it just it felt so like, wow, you know what? I hope that the world sees this. I hope that the world sees this, not just one time, not two times, but I hope that they watch it, and then reach out to him. Reach out to Marlon to support him, but also reach out to him to ask him questions, to maybe see, you know, get a more in-depth explanation of his situation with his child. And I hope that in him, you know, going public about this, that his child is okay with him doing that. Because sometimes, you know, people can out you before you're even ready to share with the world. And so I felt very connected to that as a black man, as a father. And then also I felt very connected to his child, whom I haven't ever met nor even heard of up until now. So it was very, very touching, and like I almost shed a tear just based off this short clip, because it's like, yo, we never see this. We never get to, okay, we see it with Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. Yes, we've seen that. But a black man like Marlon, that people have watched him and his entire family
the family,
so, you know, like, and for him to be, as far as I know, the first one to be like, you know what, this is my truth, this is my family's truth, I support my child, and you know, I hope that y'all can do the same. Essentially is what happened, and you know, in that, within that clip. So like, I just feel good to see that. I hope that he's more outspoken about it. I hope, again, that he had permission from his child to speak on his behalf about his transition, that they have a loving relationship. And I wish them both well within their transition, and their entire family as well, because now it's in the eyes of the public.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you. That's... I'm gonna share my thoughts after y'all finish. Juan, go take it away.
I mean, how can I come after that? I mean, but I will say that I resonated with that. I don't come from a Jamaican descent or a island descent, but I come from a strong black family in the black church. So I resonated with that. For him to even want to know what it is, and he's being inclusive and wants to know what it is, and he's sharing this journey, he's being respectful, and trying, you know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to try and learn, and it's another for your parent to just not mess with it at all, you know what I mean? Not try at all, you know, be disrespectful, outing certain things, stuff that I had to deal with. But I mean, I love my mother to death. However, I don't even think she understands what transition means. You know what I mean? So it's we're coming along. I will say that, but for him to be up there, like my brother said, and talk about it, because, and I just want to say shout out to my trans sisters. I will say that. However, black trans men, we don't have, there's nothing on TV for us. There's nothing, you know, we don't have any representation out there. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the trans experience, as far as being a trans man, it's rough. I mean, it's rough on both sides, but without us having the representation, or even knowing that there's somebody out there who's going through the exact same thing, you feel alone. So for him to grab hold of his child like that and still love him and want to learn and be respectful, it really touched me to my soul.
I'm so glad.
Y'all making me emotional.
I know.
Where's my liquor?
One more thing. So I love that you said, Twan, I love that you said that, it's coming along with you and your mom. So my biological father and my father are both Jamaican men. But my father is the one who is supportive of me, who has always been supportive of me, as well as my friends, him and my mother. They have always been supportive of me and my friends. My biological father disowned me years ago, like prior to transition. So, oh, look, there go my mom. Hi, Mom, my number one fan. Love you,
Hey,
Mom. But yeah, so I wanted to also add that. So, but yeah, my mom and my father, they are my biggest supporters. They have loved me and supported me from day one, from age 7, when I wanted to start dressing myself as whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever, So I wanted to say that. Yeah,
That's so dope.
Now, yeah, it's very important for parents to understand that not their children come from them, but they aren't them.
Right.
They have their own individual life that they have to live. And if they don't get that peace at home, if they don't get that respect and love at home when it comes to transitioning, when they go out there into that real world gonna smack them in the face.
Right.
And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be things that they're going to do to even be able to eat, to sleep, day to day. You have homeless trans kids that are downtown right now who are doing God knows what just to eat. Because their parents told them at home, I'm not going to deal with this in my house. You got to get out. And I don't think a lot of people understand the magnitude of that.
Not at all.
None
whatsoever.
I could never fathom my daughter coming to me and her telling me that she's whatever it is that she wants to do in life. If I don't agree with it, I can never see myself saying you have to get out.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if you don't have anybody else and you can't go home to your parents, it get cold and lonely out there.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you done blinked and 10 years done passed. And it's like, where's my life at right now?
Man.
It starts
goes into like generational curses.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that stops with me. I always exactly. Not even on the trans front. Right. Generational curses, period, within the African diaspora, but that's for another show. But you always want to stop the plague with you. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I went through as a child, everything that, whether it was stuff that I was dealing with in school, stuff that I was dealing with, as far as my depression, identifying as gay, not even knowing what that is, just to appease my mother. And then coming out as a transgender man at 35, you know what I mean? It's a lot to deal with when you don't have that type of strong relationship with your parents at home.
Yeah.
Now I'm blessed to have strong relationships, people that I can go to, safe spaces. But you only get one mama and dad.
Right.
And that's the love that you long for. You don't have the love of your mother and father. It's like a void that's in your heart that can't be filled. As much as you try to fill that void, there's nothing like a love of your mother or father.
Right. I agree. And this is why this clip was so important. And I want to chime into a lot of things that people are saying in the comments about, like, having that family is a blessing, that support system, even if it's the family you were born into, or if it's the family that you create. I, as an educator, I've helped my students transition. I've talked to their families. I've been the family when their family disowns them. And I still will be. And I'm always going to be. Because whether I agree with anything you might do, listen, we rocking, we rolling, because you're still loved.
Right.
And the other thing that people are really saying in the comments, and you, Twan and Armani, you both hit it right on the nose. Representation is everything. And I see the acceptance with Chaz, Bono, and Cher. I see the acceptance of Caitlyn Jenner. When it comes to Black men with trans experiences, I don't see much. I don't see people discussing the disparities that a lot of Black and brown trans people face in the community if they don't have a good support system.
But sister, the beauty of that, and it's sad because you type the hashtags and you don't see much. But my cousin always told me, like, when you type in a hashtag and you don't see much, that it's a bad thing. But then it's your inner drive to push you to be the representation. That be my focus. You know what I'm saying? When I look up those hashtags and I don't see anything for Black trans men, then I want to be that hashtag. You know what I'm saying? I want to be that representation, because if nobody does it and it's not out there, then it's going to continue not to be out there.
Right.
You got to know who we are. We're here. We're not going anywhere. Like I said, we're regular human beings. We pay taxes. I pay my taxes. I go to work every day. You know what I mean? So I'm no different than the cisgender man who was born that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, I'm probably more of a man than some of these guys who won't even consider what being a man is.
Thanks.
You understand what I'm saying? So it gotta be you. Like, if it's not anybody else, it gotta be you. You feel me? So when I don't see stuff like that, it touches me, and I'm like, damn, we really ain't got nothing out there. But then there's a voice in my head. The voice in my head is saying, Twan, that's you. You're the representation. You be the representation for the kid who don't have it. You know what I mean? When I was a teenager, I didn't have that.
Right.
There was nothing out there. There was nowhere for me to go. I didn't even know what transitioning meant, but I knew I didn't fit the mold of what I was on the outside. My soul didn't fit the vessel that I was born into. And that's the best way that I can explain that. You know what I'm saying?
Videos like that gives a child potentially an opportunity to be like, Mom, although I don't know how to explain it in my own words to you, here's a video that you can watch so that you can better understand how I'm feeling, possibly from another person's who is experiencing the same thing. So it's not just me, Mom. Like, there's
absolutely
like me.
Right.
But that's the beauty of it with kids today. I mean, the kids are so lucky today, with the information age and social media and seeing other people in different parts of the world who are just like them. Because back in the 90s, we ain't had it. You know what I mean? We just didn't have that. It was we had to watch TV, and whatever was on TV, that was the representation of Black people, and it wasn't always positive. You know what I mean? It wasn't always positive.
Right.
But nowadays we are equipped with it. Like I always say, you got to use the same tools that they have. We got them.
Facts.
Just with this podcast alone, you know what I mean? Getting it out there. We have the same tools as them, so we got to use it to the fullest, so that they know that we're out here.
Right. I just want to. This is a really refreshing conversation for more reasons than one. Like I said, I've known Armani literally almost 20 years at this point. And just seeing both of you here, I want to thank you for still being here. I want to thank you for getting through the darkest days when there was no one there. I want to thank you for being the voice. I want to thank you for not only representing people with trans experiences, but representing yourself.
Amen.
Like this shit is. This shit is hard. And to come on a platform where people don't know you and share your voice and stand tall, not only in your truth, but representing truth for everyone else, to be open. Vulnerable. And also to be willing to be like, you know what? That's somebody that looks like me that I can identify with. So thank you for that representation. We want to know where we can follow y'all at. Where can we follow you? Where can we find you? Where can we get this book? Where can we get these paintings? What's next for y'all? Twan, we're gonna start with you. What's next for you? Where can we find you?
Right now, I mean, I'm in the rebuilding stage of my brand, resilience over everything. I reset my main thing. My main goal is reset, rebuild, reuse. You reset, you're able to reset every day you open your eyes, you reset. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm in the reset stage. But right now, my book, you can find that on Amazon. Type in the how to 5 pillars of resilience saved my life, and I'll pop right up. You can follow me on Instagram at woo2times. I'm also on TikTok, where I like to have a lot of fun on there. TikTok is fun. I'm on the TikTok as woo2times as well. And y'all can just come check me out, man. Come check the book out. It shows how the 5 pillars of resilience saved my life, as far as me going through my trans journey, as far as me going through my mental health journey. I just cup it all into one nice ebook where I give you some activities, and you know, it's a good read. It's a nice short read. It's rainy day. You pop that out. If you having a moment, you pop out the how to 5 pillars of resilience saved my life, and you're good to go. I promise.
Thank you so much.
So much.
And Armani, where can we find you?
I gotta talk fast like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it all in one joint, like one breath. I'm like,
articulation was on point, like a motherfucker. Okay.
Real, well, 2 things really quick. Let me see if I can talk as fast as I did really quick. No, it's some of my family, my mom and my cousin. I love y'all so much, and everybody.
I saw her.
Thank y'all so much. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Representation does matter, which is where my art comes from, which is where my artivism comes from. I got tired of not seeing people that look like me. Hence, my first book, Exposed Truth. There's a lot of bodies of transgender, non-conforming, and two-spirit people in here.
I love it.
You go on Google, you didn't see a lot of black bodies. You didn't see a lot of bodies of color where you go to look up, research for surgery or for hormones or things like that. When you type in, trans men, trans people, you specifically trans men, you will see a lot of white trans men. And it's like, well, where do people look like me at?
Right.
And also one of the reasons why a Texas University professor reached out to me to use images from this book for their curriculum because there was no representation. There were no bodies that looked like mine,
right,
or people of color in general. Some images from this book are also in the new published guide titled Trans Bodies, Trans Cells, which is an international guide out now as well. So yes, representation matters. I got tired of not seeing people that look like us. So I'm like, well, let me get my camera. Let me put some stuff in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, a great friend of mine, Kashmir, who had Hope After 20 Publications published this book. So this was my first published book. It's a black and white photography book. I would skim through it, but it has a lot of there go Cash, right?
Cash.
Come on, Cash.
So thank you,
Cash.
Even me, I was this broke, depressed artist trying to figure out how to get my message out, and Cash put her all into me, her money and everything, and hence the book. So thank you, Cash. I love you, appreciate you. This book has a lot of nudity in it, but it's educational. So I ain't gonna flip through. I don't want y'all to get flagged. But you can find everything at ArmaniDae.com. If you just Google me, honestly, so much stuff will pop up. All good stuff, I hope. No, but Armani Dae, everything. You go to ArmaniDae.com. It will lead you to all my Instagrams, my Facebooks. I don't have Twitter yet. I have it, but I don't use it. I also have TikTok, but I don't use it. Y'all give me time. I'm one of them old school people that's like, no, I don't need all of that.
Right.
But I'm getting there. But yeah, so Armani Dae, everything. Some stuff may come up as Armani Dae photography because originally all my art started with photography, and then I started developing into other art forms, which is paintings, my books, and so forth. So Armani Dae, you can Google me or you can look me up at ArmaniDae.com. All the stuff gonna pop up that you need to find me.
And I spoke so fast. You can also find my testimonials and everything resilience into Wan on resilienceovereverything.com. It slipped my mind, but I'm up there too, where you can see videos of my testimonial. You can read my whole testimony, everything about resilience, everything to Wan, resilienceovereverything.com.
Oh, there's another one. Alicia created Perceptions, which I play a black trans man on. So thank you, Alicia, too, for also giving me a platform to be on for visibility and awareness. I love you, Alicia. Thank you so much. Thank you to anybody who's given me an opportunity, including y'all, an opportunity to talk about myself, my art, the things that I do, and to have some visibility and awareness because we need it. We need it. Especially when it comes to trans men, it's like this much representation on TV.
Absolutely.
It's like
And
that.
one more shout out before I go. I want to give a shout out to Concrete Rose, aka Tyreeka Bright, aka Mama on a Mission. My beloved, I love you. She saved my life. Seriously, I got the 5 pillars of resilience from her. If it wasn't for her, I, on all actuality, it's vulgar, but I'd be dead. She saved my life. She really did. So shout out to Tyreeka Bright. Shout out to everybody that love me. It's Trans Visibility Week as well. So if you know a trans person, you tell them you love them today.
Every day.
Every day. Yes, every day. Today and every day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for coming, y'all. We really appreciate that, y'all.
Vulnerable.
Like real shit.
And I know you're calling in from Cali, so thank you for taking the time. Juan, I know you've been busting your ass working, so we truly appreciate you sharing your stories with us this evening, gentlemen and kings. Have a blessed evening, week. We appreciate
Love y'all.
Y'all
appreciate it.
Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, y'all. See you. That was
refreshing.
It was.
Needed.
This is what was needed because like and I also want to shout out the audience, y'all. Thank you for keeping it respectful.
Absolutely.
Thank you for supporting not only the podcast, of course, but these young men. Like their stories, make sure you follow them, please. Like
there's so much more to honestly learn. This was just a tiny podcast. The stories continue, their knowledge, their like take the time to really follow them and learn more about each of them.
And the point is to educate, right? There's so many people out there that are just walking around like with their foot in their ass. For real. You know, a lot of people aren't willing to do the work and aren't willing to check their own biases. And that's something that really, really bothers me, which leads me to our next topic really shortly, right? Let's show this clip, y'all. We're just going to show you the clip and then we're going to share our thoughts.
Story hours that have been the subject of much controversy. I admit I've never been to one. Is it simply that there are drag performers reading to kids? Like, is that it? It sounds pretty innocuous to me.
Really, it is drag queens reading books to kids. And it's not like they just drop a busload of kids off at this place. Their parents are with them. And that's the biggest thing for me, too, is these people speaking out against it and protesting it. It's like, well, you're not their parent. And if we tried to parent your kid, you would be complaining about, this is my kid, I'm going to do what I want.
So 2 questions. Well, 2 theories here.
Go right ahead.
1, you are an educator.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask your opinion on what you think that is. But I also want to ensure, let's read this comment from my daughter. Having a conversation with an open mindset really goes a long way. Don't have to agree, but able to digest.
I wholeheartedly. You raised an amazing daughter. I love your daughter. I can't wait to meet her in person. I love you, Maya. I wholeheartedly agree with, having conversations, especially difficult conversations with open-mindedness. You don't have to agree.
No.
Just be able to receive that information, So to answer your question, right? I'm going to answer it as a parent and an educator.
Yes, ma'am.
And I also want to preface this with that for our audience. We're not playing this in connection.
Yeah,
with like what we were just talking about. I want to identify the thing, right? Dressing in drag is not being a person with a trans experience. Those are 2 different things. Do not blend the 2. It is very ignorant to say a woman with a trans experience is a drag queen when AJ McLean, who is a heterosexual, assumingly a heterosexual cisgender male, literally just won RuPaul's Drag Race. It's not the same at all. So let's separate the 2. As a parent, would I care if a person that was dressing in drag read to my children? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because I educate my children on different people in different walks of life. I asked hard questions. You know, it's the different day and age. My children are 9 years old. We had the conversation about people being lesbians or bisexual or queer or gender non-conforming or two-spirited. We have those conversations. I educate my children at home first.
Period.
Before anybody introduces anything to them.
Period.
I control that narrative because I'm their motherfucking mom at the end of the day. Excuse my French. But I'm their mother at the end of the day. I educate them to let them know there are other people out there that are different from you.
Right.
You do not belittle them because they're different.
Right.
You do not disrespect them because they're different. If my child is uncomfortable with something, then the conversation changes.
Of course. A billion
But my children aren't uncomfortable with that. It's a person performing. It's like I dress up to perform for people. It's the same thing. It is a performance. It is not teaching my children to be gay or whatever. If my children are that way, they are going to be that way. And I'm going to be voguing down the fucking street if they are.
And who's not?
And who's not?
Sashay away.
Hello? As an educator, I feel the same way. If you do not agree with it, you don't have to belittle it. You can literally sign a waiver that will exclude your child from certain activities. Just like a lot of when we were growing up, or even some of the students that I have now, students that are of Islamic faith, they're not going to be bringing in birthday cakes. They're not going to be doing certain things simply because they can't, because that is their religion. So they respect that. It is the same thing, just as, hey, I don't want my child being photographed or put on Instagram or TikTok in your videos to promote the school. It is literally the same thing. I have had so many arguments with people that I thought I was really close to.
Right.
And literally arguing me down because I feel like people are people. And a person that is dressed in drag can come in and teach my kids that, like, I've heard so many astronomically asinine things.
Just ignorant shit.
Just pure ignorant shit. Like, I had an argument with one of my friends who literally said something along the lines of people like me that are queer or that would not mind a person dressed in drag performing or reading a book to children. I'm the reason why pedophiles think it's okay to be pedophiles and part of the alphabet community. Bitch, pedophiles are sick.
Honestly, and let's keep it a bean within the motherfucking family.
Most pedophiles are straight people anyway. It's not the same. It is an absolute
and it's
disrespect.
Where it's monitored, and again, most of the parents would have to agree on it, which is irrational. But you know, to each his own on how you parent your child.
Right, to each their fucking own. And one thing, the way I'm going to parent my children and my children's children when I become a grandmother, if they decide to have kids, respect everybody for who they are.
For who the fuck they are.
It's pretty simple. I don't understand why it's such rocket science. I don't have to agree with the shit you do.
Respect that pays you. That's it.
Mind the business. That don't yuck my yum. What I eat won't make you shit. It's simple. It is simple. This is a performance. If you can watch Hamilton on Disney Plus faithfully, you can watch a person dressed in drag, performing, reading a book that might be educational and insightful. Right. I just don't. You can parent your child however you want to parent. I do agree with, I like Hamilton, Robert. I do agree with the fact that I would rather tell my children something first before someone else presents it to them.
Right.
I am that parent. I am also that educator. When I was in the classroom more heavily, I would have those conversations with parents like, hey, this is what we're about to do.
Sure.
Are you okay with it?
Well, yeah, it's respectful, of course.
Right. It's one thing to be respectful, but if you're signing on for it, then what's the issue if it's not disrespectful? I don't get it. I don't get the thing. I'm not that guy. I don't think I ever will be. I've been to a few drag shows. I had a ball. Robert.
I mean, listen, they are fun.
They are fun though.
And the reality is, if men in the Black and brown community could just understand that not every gay man wants your dusty, rusty, crusty ass, you would be all right, because just because he's gay doesn't mean he likes you.
Can we put that at the bottom of the screen? Just because someone is gay does not mean they like you.
Period.
Like,
so it's your insecurity about being around them, not theirs around you, because not every gay man wants to be humping on you.
Tag me in. So here's what my theory is about the men that are up in arms about gay men or people that perform in drag. Oh my God, they want me, they're looking at me. Guess what you are, beloved? You are undercover. And I'm not going to out you, because I've dealt with people that did this, and I'm just like, that man don't worry about you. Why you still worry about them? You are down low.
Real low.
And this is not to
shame or shade.
It's no shame or shade. No tea, no shade. It is the fact. It is it's just like, baby, you are wearing your heart on your sleeve, baby. Like, it is not that, you know what it never was, that deep.
Ever.
They don't want you. And I guarantee the men that they do want look 20 million times better than you do.
Smell better than you.
They are clean. They wash underneath their fingernails. They circumcised.
They don't got lint in their belly button.
Their belly button don't smell like pretzels. They change their socks and their underwear every day.
And they change their sheets. And their sheets match. Girl.
And they smell like frankincense and good dick.
And cashmere.
With a little bit of velvety little and they wear cologne that matches their pheromones.
That part.
Oh,
and matches their face. Because, time out real quick. Gentlemen, don't wear something that smells hella good and you don't look hella good.
Child, you don't look hella good.
I know you fucking lying, bitch.
And you wearing that frankincense and myrrh to hide the fact that you smell like an ounce and you ain't washed it up in 3 days.
At all. What the hell? And you look like Frankenstein. And I don't want to deal.
And you look like Igor, pussy. Like, ain't nobody fucking worried about you. Little crusty, dusty ass, and get your hair retwisted in 3 fucking months.
Right.
Thinking I'm gonna want your goofy, ugly ass. Boy, please.
Who had a powder?
Please.
Who just did a little
not
bit
on Joseph Robinette Biden's 5G internet. We not doing that. We are not doing that. Talking about you want them. God damn. Live your life. If you don't want your children exposed to certain things, then guess what? You are the parent. You can control that shit.
Period.
End of story. End of story.
Or why not expose them to it like you said, so nobody else has to?
I don't think people use critical thinking skills, sis. I think that if little Tommy ate 2 apples and he had 3 before, how many, like I don't even know how to word it. Like, if little Tommy had 2 apples, he ate 1, how many does he have left?
Right.
Make it 5. Like, I think people you can believe whatever you want to believe.
Make you turn around for some
foolishness. Like, people can believe whatever they want to believe, right? Like I said, I don't yuck nobody's young. I don't give a fuck
at all.
I just believe in respecting people's craft. I believe in respecting people for who they are, and just spread joy and be kind. You don't know what people are going through, and you also don't know that person that is dressed in drag reading to your child may change that child's life.
Right.
That person that is living with a trans experience but is the counselor at school may change your child's life.
A billion.
Not just because they want to transition and they're not going to influence them. Influence your own children first before anybody else can influence them. That's my biggest thing. I'm gonna always be my kid's biggest hero.
Right.
I'm gonna always be it. And not because it's not because I don't want my children to have people that impact them, because they're impacted daily, but it starts at home. I'm going to raise my children a certain way to accept everyone, even if they don't agree. Just mind your business. We're all different. We are all different. Spread love, spread kindness. And it's whatever, child. They like it. I love it. I'm going to start sashaying. I'm going to start performing. I'm going to perform like Genuine did when he was like,
no,
and I'm just a bad same old shit. I'm going to do that.
He needed to stop. He needed to knock it right off.
I promise that you won't wanna.
Don't wanna, and we don't wanna. So stop it.
And won't, you old ass. Let's get to the highlight of the week, y'all. Let's get to it.
Your highlight. That's what it is.
Highlight of the week. So I want to start off to spread some positivity and joy, y'all. So in Philly, there is a group of young people ran by Nicole Noel Murphy called Reckless Kicks.
Come on.
Reckless Kicks is killing it right now. They are literally, I think the youngest might be 6 or 7 years old. And then these young people can literally grow up within the dance troupe, graduate, and also be part of like the board and helping passing down the torch to the younger ones and uplifting each other. Nicole Murphy went to Freedom Theater with me. I just want y'all to see what these kids be doing. They just performed at Universal Circus. What? Check it out, y'all. Come on, y'all. There we go. That was lit. And I wanted to highlight that because it's something positive. You know, like these are young people. It is so hard to get on stage in general, right?
Of course.
But Universal Circus is a big platform to be dancing on. So I just wanted to shout Reckless Kicks out and shout out to Nicole Murphy, because what we did at Freedom Theater, she's literally pouring into these young people from all over the place. And that really deserves a highlight. What was your highlight of the week, T?
Well, mine wasn't motivational. It's kind of like, you know, ratchet TV. It's about Krishan Rock.
Oh, girl.
Child,
what she do now? I'm sick of. That girl was out the highest of kind of drunk as shit. What, Krishan Malone? What, yo? Why
So
did
this is
everybody stop her? Like, she
girl. Let me tell
you, management team.
Let me tell you what had happened because I got all the tea.
Oh shit.
So what had happened was she was supposed to come out and do a twerk off prior to Tamar doing her last song. Well, they were calling her and they were calling her like, Rock, let's go. It's starting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She was too busy getting high. She missed the call. They had the twerk off. So she comes on the stage, like more or less telling Tamar, like, yo, I'm up. And Tamar's like, no, you're not. The show is over. So then they go backstage to try to figure it out. And this makeup artist, James, was telling her, like, Krishan, I called you. I told you it was time to go. I told you. She was like, no, you didn't. He was like, hun, yes, I did. They said she boop bop the bullshit. His eye was leaking, his nose and his lip. She did a bitty bitty bang bang all in his mitt. Like Selena for no reason because she couldn't twerk.
Didn't she just have a baby?
Yes. And possibly pregnant with another one. And it's like, again, you're at a transition in your life where maybe you becoming a parent, you need to seek a little bit of mental health. Maybe you're going through a little something, but you can't be bitty bitty bang banging people because you can't get your way.
That bitty bitty bum bum.
The guy told her, like, Krishan, I called you several times to come onto the set to twerk, and you didn't come on. And she's arguing with him back and forth that he never called her, and he's like, shorty, I called you.
Right.
Well, if she got salty and was high or probably whatever the hell and literally mopped his shit up.
I ain't gonna defame nobody's character, and she can't hit me like that.
No,
but,
the hell she can't.
It's just
she should just cut him a check. She has to.
She has to. I think I heard bits and pieces on Twitter because she got red for filth. She got cleared, I fear. But yeah, like at the end of the day, this whole episode was about transitions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And as we transition into different phases of our lives, it calls for a different us.
Yes.
Whether that's physically or whether it's mentally. And I just feel like shit like that. You had a baby and now you might be going to jail.
Right. Because it's assault.
That is assault. And this is not the first.
No, and it breaks my heart because her people are around just for a check, but not genuinely like checking for her, checking for her well-being. I'm a huge advocate, and you and I have had this conversation even starting new with the podcast. Like, hold me accountable. If I say something or if I don't know something, let me know. And so maybe Krishan just literally needs somebody to take her by the hand and be like, baby, you don't have to punch on people for a check. You got other talents we could be
She's
working.
very talented. Yeah.
Yes. And it's shameful. But then again, I'm tuned in every Sunday watching Zoom.
Every Sunday watching Betty shot a clock. You know what I'm saying? But she doesn't know she's going to be on there. So y'all, all in all, we are in different transitions of our lives. So let's transition for real.
Yes.
Better. And yes, she does have to learn.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you for tuning in. This was a very insightful episode. Thank you for being respectful. Thank you for being open. And thank you for coming with our again.
And always remember to be kind.
Yes.
Because it doesn't hurt to be kind. You
at all.
What somebody is dealing with.
You never know, y'all.
Simple, hello, your shoes look nice. I like your hair. You have a nice car. Goes a long fucking way.
Yes. Thank you, Armani. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to Armani. Thank you to Twan for coming.
Thank you, guys.
Remember, like, And
like it.
hit that like button and subscribe. And make sure you get tickets to Paving Ways Entertainment Mixer this Saturday. Okay? I'm gonna watch the Dope Boys go crazy too, but we're gonna be there. $25 tickets, guys. That's pre-sale. See you there. All right.
Good night.